What's up, guys? So today I'm going to be making a UFC video here, and it's going to be for the UFC Fight Night card, UFC Rotterdam, OVEREEM versus Arlovsky. It's a main event. So let's go ahead and get started, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and give my picks for the Fight Pass prelims first, and in separate videos I'll be doing the Fox Sports 1 prelims and then the main card. So we got 3 fights here on the Fight Pass prelims, and these fights are going to be on Sunday, guys. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So first fight, we got Sasaki against Gates. This is a flyweight fight. Gates, he's been fighting at flyweight. Sasaki here is making his debut, and you know he's coming in short notice. So I think it's like 2 weeks short notice because Gates was supposed to fight Paddy Holohan, and you know he ended up retiring and stuff because of some condition he had, so he wasn't able to fight. So yeah, guys, Sasaki here coming in late notice, so that's not good. Also, you know he's never fought at 125 either, so another thing going against him there. He's also a pretty big guy already. He used to fight at 135 and he's like 5'10", I think. So he's a big guy. I think the weight cut's gonna give him problems. Let's go ahead and just check out their pages real quick. 5'10", and he's a grappler and likes going for submissions, guys. He has a lot of submission wins, as you can see there. 50% wins by submission or just by decision. He's not much of a striker. Really doesn't have any power. So Sasaki, as you can see, good reach. I mean, obviously he's a big guy now. You know he's dropping down to 125 and 5'10". I mean that's a big motherfucker, guys. I mean, come on, that's a big motherfucker. So he's a big guy, but also he's lost his last 2 fights in the UFC. His debut, he actually won by submission, first round, impressive or whatever. And then his next fight was against Leandro Isa, a good jiu-jitsu fighter, and he was actually a big favorite in that fight, and he ended up losing. You know, in the second round, he got tapped out. And then against Taylor Lapilus right here, who's not known for having any power. We check his page really quick. I think they have him labeled as jiu-jitsu or submissions or whatever. Yeah, BJJ submissions. This is the last guy he fought, and this guy knocked him out. And this guy has really, that was his first knockout, guys. So this guy is not much of a knockout artist, and he was able to knock out Sasaki. And when you come down in weight, your chin gets a little bit more fragile. So that's not going to be good for Sasaki here. That means his chin's probably not going to be too durable. I mean, he got knocked out by a guy who's not known for having power. And, he got knocked out his last fight right there, as you can see. It was a round 2 knockout. He was able to get a takedown, though. But, yeah, this guy, he just wants to take it down. His striking doesn't seem too good. As you can see, every fight he's scoring a takedown except for his debut. He just happened to get a submission win. I don't know how he got it. I didn't watch that fight because I like looking at recent fights, not, first fights and whatnot. But as you can see, in his last losses, he was still able to get a takedown each fight. The guy he's fighting here, we got Willie Gates. His summary there: freestyle wrestling and striking. To be honest, I haven't seen much of a wrestling game from this guy. This guy is all stand-up from what I'm seeing here. He's also a big flyweight fighter, 5'8", 70-inch reach. So him and Sasaki, they're not too big of a difference with the size. So this guy made his UFC debut against John Moraga, which was a badass. I think he was ranked number 5 when he fought him. Came in short notice. And he got tapped out by Moraga, but there was no shame in that because Moraga is obviously a badass. And then his next fight, he fought some guy, Daryl Montague, who's actually already been cut by the UFC, I'm sure. And this guy was getting like beat up every single fight, I think. Let me just take a quick look here, guys. He's known for accuracy and speed, or that's his summary. And this guy, as you can see, all his fights in the UFC, as expected, this guy's lost all his fights, finished 2 out of 3 of those fights. So, yeah. So he beat up a guy that pretty much wasn't too good. He smashed him in the first round. This guy's a finisher, guys. Willie Gates, first round finisher here. This guy's just goes straight for the finish. His next fight was against another good fighter, Dustin Ortiz, a guy who utilizes really good wrestling and has a really good cardio, good pace. And he got beat up in that fight. So he's coming off a loss, also like Sasaki. The only difference here is that Willie Gates has been training already. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, Sasaki's still been training and whatnot, but he's coming in short notice here, guys. 2 weeks, and he's taking on Willie Gates, a guy that's been training already. He's preparing for a striker. The thing is, he was preparing for like a striker, Paddy Holohan, and now he's gonna fight Sasaki, who is a grappler. So that might be kind of a difference here. But to be honest, guys, I think Sasaki here is gonna have a bad weight cut, and I don't think he's gonna be able to. I don't think he's gonna be able to put in any work against Willie Gates in this fight, guys. I mean, there is a chance he actually does make the weight and maybe even just beats Gates on the ground, just takes him down and whatnot. But as you can see, his takedown accuracy is also not very good, 22%. So not good takedown accuracy, and takedowns defended for Willie Gates is almost 73%. So Gates knows how to defend takedowns. Supposedly, his summary, they got him listed as freestyle wrestling and striking. To me, he just looks like a striker with really good power, as you can see. So yeah, guys, I'm just gonna go ahead and go with Gates on this one. I think, even though he's coming off a loss, he's been training. Sasaki coming in here short notice, has to make that hard weight cut. He's a big guy. But if Sasaki does come in, pounds overweight, I mean, there is a chance, he just uses the extra pounds to give him that strength advantage, and maybe wins, with his takedowns and whatnot. There is a chance, guys. But for me, I'm going to go ahead and go with Willie Gates here, guys. I think he gets this done. And Sasaki here, as we can see his recent fights, he's been getting beat up in the second round. So I say he also makes it. You know what? Yeah, I'll go ahead and give him a chance here, guys. I was gonna say first round knockout for Gates, but let's go ahead and say second round finish for Gates, guys. So I got Gates on this fight. Next fight here, Edwards against Waters. Checked out both of the recent stats, but let's go ahead and open it up real quick anyway. So Edwards here, good striker from the UK. Waters here, fights out of Jackson Winklejohn over there, with Johns Jones gym over there. Well, not his gym, but he trains over there. So he's coming out of a good gym, Albuquerque over there, good cardio. But Waters here has not been really impressive here, guys. But I think both his fights have been short notice, though. I think both of them were. His fight against Sullivan, he lost. Dong Hyun Kim, I mean, that's just a big step up in competition, and he got knocked out first round. Yeah, so Waters here. I haven't seen too much from this guy, and to me he's not looking too good just based on the stats. Excuse me. So we look at Edwards. This guy's just known for having good stand-up. He's coming off a loss to a really good fighter, Kamaru, who uses good wrestling and whatnot. He got taken down a lot in this fight. Before that he won, and before that he won against Seth Basinski by first round knockout. But Seth Basinski here has his chin's not too good, so I'm not too surprised there. Then he lost a split decision on his debut against Claudio Silva, which I'm not familiar with. But as you can see, he gets taken down in those fights, guys. So if this guy stays standing, I think he's gonna win for sure. The problem here is that this guy Waters is actually a pretty good grappler. As you can see, his takedown average is about 4, and his accuracy is 100% here. So this guy, could get the fight down to the ground. He's a big guy. He's taller than Edwards. Also has the reach advantage. And if we look at what they think about each other, this guy thinks, Edwards has good stand-up and whatnot. But Edwards says right here that he comes in sloppy, likes to grapple, but he's not very tight. So I see myself finishing him. And I kind of want to agree there, because Waters here, his striking, I thought he would be more of a striker, but he's just striking's not too good, guys. He just likes to kind of want to grapple with you and whatnot. So for me, guys, I mean, Waters here, I think this is his first fight where he's actually preparing for a fight. He's not coming in short notice. And Edwards, I think he's a good fighter. He has really good stand-up, and I mean, his takedown defense 65%. I think it's improved. I want to say it's kind of like a 50-50 fight here, guys. But you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and lean towards Edwards here, guys. I think the stand-up will probably be the how this fight goes. I think the fight could stay standing here. I think Edwards keeps it on his feet. But if Waters takes him down and it looks like he's just dominating him on the ground the first round, and then second round he does it again, then for sure it's going to be a fight for Waters. I mean, so it kind of just depends how both of them look. If Edwards shows off with really improved takedown defense, I think he wins this easily. If Waters can't get the takedown, or I mean he could get the takedown repeatedly, and is able to keep Edwards down and just keep him there the whole fight, I think Edwards will probably lose that fight. But yeah, that's a hard pick, but I'm just gonna go ahead and go for Edwards here, guys. I might change my mind later on because I like picking my fights on DraftKings, so I'll just check the value and whatnot. It is kind of like a 50-50 fight. Waters is able to use his grappling game and able to get Edwards down. He can get a win, but if Edwards can keep it standing, he gets a win. So it's a 50-50 fight. I'm just gonna go ahead and lean towards Edwards. Guys. I think he keeps it on the feet. And Waters got knocked out his last fight, but I don't think he's gonna get knocked out by Edwards. Actually, you know what? Let's just go ahead and say third round TKO, guys. All right, guys, hold up. Bandicam's about to cut off, so hold up. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. My bantam cuts off at 10 minutes, so I'm already making this video pretty long, but hopefully I'm breaking down these fights pretty good for you guys, so you guys could, you know, pick at your own risk or whatever if you guys are actually trying to bet or something like that. But yeah, guys, I'm just gonna go ahead and lean towards Edwards. I think his stand-up's gonna be the difference. Waters has length and whatnot, but as you can see by significant strikes landed per minute, this guy, I mean, look at the poor accuracy and all that stuff, poor defense. It's just, this guy's all he just wants to grapple him pretty much. Edwards, not super powerful with his takedown defense or whatever, you know, but he does have some takedown defense, and I just think if Waters can't take him down, it's going to be easy night for Edwards. So that's why I'm picking Edwards, guys. So third round TKO for Edwards is going to be my pick, or maybe just a decision. Alright, next fight, I'm going to make this really quick. So Kyoji against Siri. Siri's an older guy already. This guy's an older fighter. I mean, let's go ahead and just open up the page really quick. But I mean, I already have the pick I want in my head, guys. This is a really simple pick for me. But let's go ahead and just open up the pages real quick. So stand-up is Kyoji's here is known for. His only loss in the UFC is to the champion Demetrius, which is a badass, and he was able to get taken down multiple times, as you can see there, 14 times. I mean, damn, that's a lot of damn takedowns. If we look at Siri, known for his boxing, he's, you know, from Ireland. He's a pretty older guy now. He's 36 years old. He is coming off a win, second round submission. As you can see, he actually does go for takedowns, even though he has boxing credentials, I guess you want to call it. He did lose against Louis Smoka, but that guy, he's an up and comer. He's a good fighter. But before that, he beat Beal and Phil Harris. I'm not familiar with Phil Harris, but Beal's a good fighter. Brad Pickett, he lost to Brad Pickett. So this guy loses to you know, high level fighters like Pickett and Smoka. And guess what, guys? Kyoji here is another one of those elite fighters. I just think Kyoji here is going to be too much. He has really good stand-up, great karate style. Siri has that boxing style, but I think Kyoji could keep his distance and just kind of beat him up, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and say Kyoji gets a decision win here, guys. I think it's just gonna be a 3-round ass whooping, but I mean, maybe he even gets a finish. So I say Kyoji here by decision, guys. All right, guys. So those are my picks for this fight. Just to recap, Gates against Sasaki. I'm picking Gates, and I think he gets this gets a first round or a second round knockout. Depends. I'm just gonna go ahead and say second round knockout though. I think his stand-up's going to be too good, and the power is going to be too good. Also, you know, Sasaki's been knocked out his last fight, so yeah. For this fight, Edwards against Waters, this one's very close, guys. You know, you can go kind of either way. It just depends who imposes their game. If Waters uses his grappling game, which I know he is going to use, but if he's able to actually get Edwards down and stuff like that and control him for like a whole round, then I think Waters is going to just win that fight pretty easily with the takedowns. He's going to see that's his way to victory, and I think that's going to be his only way to victory. I think if this fight stays standing, it's going to be all Edwards here, guys. So for me, I'm picking Edwards because he has the better stand-up. He also has some takedown defense, so there's a chance he can stuff some of those takedowns and make Waters pay for those takedowns, and yeah, use his striking. I want to say this fight, you know, Edwards gets a finish, but I also could see him getting a decision. So I'm just going to go ahead and say, I know I said a third round TKO, but I'll just go ahead and say Edwards decision, guys. So Edwards by decision. And we already talked about this fight. I got Horiguchi here. I think he gets this by decision, or maybe even a late finish, but I'll go ahead and say the decision, guys. So those were my picks, guys. I got Gates, I got Edwards, and then I got Horiguchi here. So those are my picks, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. My picks. I'm gonna be working this whole week, so I'm gonna try to make the other videos and whatnot. But yeah, guys. Also, if you guys haven't joined DraftKings yet, I got the link right there in my description below. Click that, join DraftKings. You know, have a chance to, you know, make some money and whatnot. You know, using that MMA fantasy. If you guys are good at picking fights, like, you know, you guys are good at picking underdogs and stuff like that. You know, get into that. Maybe you guys can make some money and whatnot. But yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed my video and like my picks and whatnot. If not, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me see who you guys picked. But yeah, guys, I'll be making the Fox Sports 1's prelims and the Fox Sports 1 main card videos hopefully soon. Alright, so that's gonna be it for this video, guys, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.